Cuntify this jacket with me. I will chop off the sleeves and make super big armpit holes. Snatch the waist part and add a fur trim to the hoodie. Turn it around and mark the new silhouette. Remove the excess fabrics and sew together the bottom of the sides. Hem the armpit holes with bias tape.
Yeah.
Pin them right side to right side and sew together.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Flip the bias tape inside and do the top stitch.
I'm having a hard time getting it in.
I ripped some fur off my old gilet. Sandwich the fur around the hood and hand sew it on free.
Wow.
Last minute cunty print.
The one, the cunt. The two, the cunty one. The cunty, the cunt. Just the cunt. Just the cunt.
You have no right to be depressed. You haven't tried hard enough to like it. Haven't seen enough of this world yet. But it hurts to stop your whining shy again.
I try to laugh about it, hiding the tears in my eyes. 'Cause boys don't cry. Boys don't cry.
Le temps, écoute chérie, je t'ai dit non.
Courir, partir, venir, mourir. Courir, partir, venir, mourir. Courir, partir, venir et mourir. Je te dirai que je t'aime, qu'à présent t'es ma sirène. Je te dirai tout cela. Pour l'instant, tais-toi. Je te dirai que je t'aime, qu'à présent t'es ma sirène. Je te dirai tout cela.
Upcycle with me. This zip up needs some love, and this vintage celestial blanket is gonna help me. I first tied off all the snags, and then I cut out this giant sun design to put on the back of the hoodie. I left about an inch for seam allowance. Next, I used my serger, and I serged all around the outside of the design, which will keep it from fraying and make it look nice and clean. I just tug at the strings until it's a knot to finish the stitch. Honestly, a zip up hoodie is the perfect thing to use because you can open it up all the way, and it makes laying out the design and pinning it and sewing super easy. I wanted the sunray to go up the middle of the hood, so I placed that first and pinned everything else in place. Over to the sewing machine to stitch it on. I simply use a straight stitch with a regular stitch length, and I personally like to have some distance between the design and the stitch, so I line up the edge of the design with the left side of my presser foot, which helps it be consistent throughout. The best part is definitely cutting to reveal. I cut pretty close to the stitch, making sure not to cut the stitch or the fabric underneath. These are easy action scissors, and they're amazing for this. And voila! I added a few more to the front, did some embroidery, and here's the finished product! How'd I do? This one-of-a-kind item is available now, and stay tuned to see what I do with the rest of the blanket.
La falta de juicio. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será? Canta el poeta y están gritando en la banqueta. ¿O qué será? ¿Qué será? Que me despierta por la noche y me hace temblar, me hace llorar. ¿Qué será? Somos fantasmas, siento la puerta tocar 3 veces, ¿o quién será?
About a year ago when I started sewing, the woman at the cut counter told me I needed to make a bowl cozy. I finally got around to making one. I'm not sure why I didn't try this sooner. They are so beginner friendly and actually useful. I'll list my dimensions on the screen, but a few important things to note. Your outer and lining fabric have to be 100% cotton, and then I use this Wrap and Zap 100% cotton natural batting. Making sure that your fabric, your batting, and your thread is 100% cotton to make these microwave safe. I start by laying my batting on the wrong side of the outer and lining fabric, flipping that over, and then using my ruler and hair marker to mark an X across the fabric squares. This creates a guideline of where we're going to sew to connect our batting to our fabric. I add some clips to hold the two pieces in place. Basically for this project, you're going to be doing the same exact steps to the outer piece and the lining piece. Once I've created the X on the outer and lining piece with the batting on the back, I take that to my sewing machine and I sew across that X. And like I said before, make sure you're using 100% cotton thread in both the top thread and the bobbin thread. I have my X sewn across both pieces. Here's what it's looking like. Now you're going to be folding your piece in half. Like I said earlier, you're going to be doing the same steps to both these pieces. You're going to go off that folded edge to make some marks, marking at 1 inch in from the folded edge and 2 inches down on the folded edge. Now using a ruler to connect those two marks with a straight line, that's where you're going to be sewing. Then doing the same thing to the bottom right hand corner on the fold, you're going up 2 inches and in from the fold 1 inch. Then connecting those two marks with a straight line and repeating that same exact process to your other piece of fabric so they look identical. Taking that to the sewing machine and sewing across the lines that we marked, back stitching when I start and stop. The reasoning for sewing these little lines is to make a dart in the fabric to create that bowl shape. Once we've sewn those lines on both pieces of fabric, we'll open it up and fold it in half once again, just like we did before. It's going to be a little harder this time, making the same marks that we did the first time, 1 inch over from the fold and 2 inches up on the fold, connecting those with a straight line and then repeating that same process with the other corner that's on the fold. I'm only showing this on one of the pieces of fabric, but like I said before, you're doing the same process to both pieces of fabric, sewing along those two little lines that we marked exactly like we did before. Now we're going to be cutting the excess fabric where we created those darts, cutting about 1/4 of an inch away from where we sewed those lines. Just to be clear, you'll have 4 darts sewn on each of your pieces of fabric. Here's what it should be looking like after you cut that excess fabric off. You can see the bowl shape that was created with the darts. You have an outer and a lining piece of fabric that look the exact same. Placing my lining fabric piece on top of my outer fabric piece with the right sides of the fabric facing each other. Making sure the two fabric pieces are all lined up and matching at the seams, slipping all the way around but yet leaving a small gap that we're able to turn this right side out after we're done sewing. You'll want the gap to start a little bit past a corner and end before one of the dart seams. Now taking that to your sewing machine and sewing around the outside edge. This is why we make the batting an inch shorter than the fabric, so it gives a not so bulky edge to sew along so everything looks clean when it's turned right side out. Before turning everything right side out, I'm just clipping those corners. Now reaching my hand into the gap that was left and pulling everything through that hole, pulling out all the corners. To poke out the corners, I like to use this tool that I have. I just stick it through the gap and then poke it into all the corners. All we have left to do is to close up that gap. I like to press it flat and then take it to my sewing machine and I just sew a top stitch all the way around to close up the gap and to give this project a really finished look. Your bowl cozy is all finished. These make such simple but actually useful handmade gifts. I have lots of handmade gift tutorials coming up this month, so save this for inspo and follow me for some more handmade tutorials.
Hey, it's freezing. Oh, what do you need? Hot tea? Coffee? Lip gloss.
Here's everything I sewed during my first 2 months of sewing. This is the first thing I ever sewed. It's a little makeup pouch and it has a cute little bow on it. I made so many. I think I have like 3 or 4 total right now. This is like my everyday pouch. Next, I have my wrist slit. This one's so cute. I had to buy this accessory to make it, but still, it was really easy to make. I even made a little pouch that goes with it, and inside is my chapstick, driver's license, and also an air tag, so I know where my keys are. Next, I have this zipper pouch, and I love doing the little quilted effect on like almost everything that I make, to be honest. So that's that. This is the mini version of it. It's basically just a coin pouch. This is the third thing I ever made. It's my laptop sleeve, and it fits my MacBook. I bought some elastic, so I have some sleep masks as well. Next thing I made is a glass sleeve. This is so easy to make. It took me like 5 minutes. I also have a cute little coaster. I'm not too happy about this one, but I made a journal sleeve or a journal cover. But I'm definitely going to try to redo this one because it's
not a good job. And I actually put this journal in this journal pouch. This is my latest creation. It is a 2-pocket journal sleeve. So inside I have my agenda and also my Hobonichi. And the last thing I have is this little boxy pencil case. It's also really good if I want to carry some makeup. So yeah, that's everything I sewed so far. These are also super good to give as gifts. Thanks for watching.
Ollie caught a bullet, but it only hit his leg. Well, it should have been a better shot. Got him in the head. They were all in love with dying. They were
Five practical, beginner-friendly sewing projects you'll actually use. Number 1, coasters, and probably the easiest project out of the bunch. Just slap 2 pieces of fabric together with some interfacing or fleece in between. Number 2, and close second in terms of level of difficulty, bookmarks. The only thing that makes this a little trickier is that it's smaller, and for me personally, it's harder to sew smaller things, but there's a lot of options when it comes to design. Number 3, scrunchies. Have you ever had a scrunchie with the perfect amount of stretch for your hair? Because that is this brown velvet one for me. I literally use it every other day. Number 4, a quilted tote bag. This is probably the project that requires the most amount of time out of them all, but it's really just because of the size. The difficulty level isn't bad. Honestly, the most challenging part is making sure the quilting squares line up, but you could also definitely just use one solid piece of fabric if you want it. And lastly, number 5 is a makeup bag. I couldn't even tell you how many of these I've made. I've got one for makeup, hair clips, brushes, pens for work, and then some more. You're obviously going to need a zipper for this one, and I would probably rank this the most difficult out of all of them, but as with anything, sewing gets easier the more you practice, so don't let that deter you.
Grab my hand, grab my hand. Now we wait. We wait for that.
Now we go. Keep holding my hand. Keep holding my hand. Keep moving.
Lie, talking all night, laughing really hard, and it makes me wanna cry. I love her playing house, love her dressing up nice, drinks on ice. I'm yours and I'm free and I'm fun, I'm wild as can be, and I want you, I'm cool and I'm coming.
Tutorial for the simplest and most comfortable fabric pants you can sew yourself. First, take your fabric and place your 2 pattern pieces on it. Now cut them out. There are really only these 2 pattern pieces, so it's definitely suitable for sewing beginners. Now place the fabrics together so that the nice sides are facing inwards and pin the crotch seams together. Sew them together with a 1 cm seam allowance. You can also finish these 2 seams either with an overlock or a zigzag stitch. Now place the front side on the back side, again with the nice fabric sides facing inwards, and sew the side seams and the inseam together, also with a 1 cm seam allowance. And you can finish this off as well. With that, you already have the basic shape of the pants. Now comes the waistband and the hems. You can also finish these off either with an overlock or a zigzag stitch. And then we continue with the waistband. For that, you'll need an elastic band. First, sew it together. It should be approximately the width of your waist. Now pin the elastic band to divide it into 4 sections. And each pin should align with the seam on the pants. So 1 pin on the side seam, 1 on the front crotch seam, 1 on the back crotch seam, and 1 on the other side seam. This way, you can insert the elastic band into the pants at even intervals. As you can see, it's tucked inside, so it's pinned onto the right side. Now sew it in place, stretching the elastic as you sew. You can now fold it over twice, so the fabric completely wraps around the elastic band. And now you sew over it once more. Here too, stretch the elastic again while sewing. This way, you'll get a beautiful, neat waistband where the elastic is completely hidden. Now it's just the hem left. For that, fold the hem up twice and sew over it once. And your pants are done. They're so comfortable, and I think they look really cute, even as a set. The pattern for the pants is already available, and the one for the top is coming very soon, so you can make a set like this too.
Give way to play and sport. Don't want to think about it, don't know what to say. So sorry that you're cross. Goodbye to you today. We better cut the conversation, keep it clean and dry. And if they never finish, then we won't ask why. It's just a natural disaster that you've left behind. For the cups of cake, for the steak and wine.
try to love me, pretty little baby. I'm hoping that you do. You can ask the flowers. I sit for hours telling all the blue.
Miss, your outfit is so minimalistic.
Oh no! Is it better?
I want you, just 'cause I love you, babe, in every kind of way, just a little taste. I love you, babe.
Everybody made it. Infiltrate it. Activate it. London, Paris, Munich. Everybody talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Pop music.
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers.
Oh no.
5 beers.
Down 999 is a good time. Who the fuck are you? I'm a brat when I'm bumping that. No, I wanna hit my track. Are you bumping that? Till the windows crack, I'll be bumping that. No, I'll never go home, don't sleep, don't eat. Just do it on repeat. Keep. When I'm in the club, yeah, I'm 365 party girl. Should we do a little key? Should we have a little line? Wanna go a real while when I'm meet me in the bathroom with you. 365 party girl. French manicure, whipper with a recipe.
This one's perfect.
But I like how mine's a little off-center. It's got wabi-sabi.
Welcome to the yellow vlog. It's a sewing vlog where I take all of my scraps and then I turn them into quilt blocks, and I'm doing it by color. So this is the 4th color that I've done so far. At the end, I'm gonna add them all up and like rearrange them so they look really cute, and then I also have fabric to work with, and that way I didn't throw out the scraps. Okay, let's get into it. Okay girl, we're looking at a lot of colors. We can have fun with this one. Sweater is really attracting the fabric debris. That really is something that bothers me. I'm gonna change, okay? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Vintage as fuck, brother. What do you think? You like this sweater? I love this sweater. We absolutely have to do the shooting star, right? There's no other option. It's yellow, right? Shooting star. I agree. Let's do it. It's backwards for you. It's gonna say boobs. I finished this one. It looks really cool from the back. You're gonna have to wait for the haul to see the front. It's cute. On to the 4th block for yellow. On to quilt block number 5. Done with number 5. I feel a little inspired to do a mini quilt block, so I think I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna be done with yellow. Okay, I'm done sewing the yellow, putting the rest of the scraps back in this bag. We did so good with the yellow. I think I got 6 quilt blocks, which is the most that we've done thus far. And that makes me ready to jump straight into brown and black. There's not much of either, so we're gonna add them together. I'll see you on that vlog. Go check out the yellow haul. I show you how it's made, but I don't show you the end result, so go check it out. I'll see you later. Bye.
Let me show you how to do a cutout or keyhole with a nice finished edge. Marked with pins where I want the cutout to be. Cut out this square of fabric that is a little bit bigger than what I want the cutout to be. And I'm gonna pseudo serge all of these edges so that it doesn't fray. For the heart cutout, the piece of fabric that's equivalent to the square that I'm doing right now was the same shape and size as the shirt that I was making, so that it was basically the lining of the shirt. Okay, now that my little piece won't fray, I'm going to pin it down on the outside of the clothing, so on the right side of the fabric. Now I'm just going to sew the shape that I want the cutout to be. Okay, so you can see my little rectangle going on, and now we're going to cut through both layers of fabric in the middle of my shape. So now I have this, and you can see I cut straight down the center, and then at the end here, I cut out towards the corners so that you can get it nice tight to the corners. You wanna make sure you're not cutting through that thread. And same thing on the bottom here. If it's anything curved, you might wanna cut notches along the curve, but just again, make sure you're not cutting through the string or the thread that we just put in there. Okay, and then the next step is you flip this fabric onto the inside. And then once you get it flipped in and all situated, it's like this. And then you just go ahead and sew around the cutout. And so now that I have sewn around the perimeter of our cutout, it looks nice and clean on the outside. And this is what it looks like on the inside.